Welcome to Mafia True Crime Stories, where every silence hides a secret. Here, we don't glorify crime, we unmask it. Each episode takes you deep into the minds of real gangsters, men who built empires on loyalty, fear, and fate, and lost it all the same way. From quiet dons to ruthless street legends, every story here is told with truth, tension, and the calm before the gunshot. So pour yourself a drink, dim the lights, and let's step back into the world where every whisper could be your last. They said his empire didn't rise with gunfire. It rose with silence, a ledger, a garage bay, and a smile that promised nothing and implied everything. Before we dive in, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more late-night mafia stories told calm and true. Flatbush after dark, neon humming, rain stitching silver lines across Flatlands Avenue. Roy stands under the awning of a modest auto shop he advises, sleeves rolled, tie loosened, eyes quiet. The place smells of oil and money. He watches cars come and go, not for beauty, for leverage. Each repair is a favor. Each favor accrues interest. He keeps rituals. Polishes his shoes before dawn. Counts cash twice, breaths once. Leaves a quarter turned tails up by the register, for luck, he says. It's really for order. Business is simple, he murmurs, stirring cold coffee. You pay, your family. You lie, your inventory. He isn't bragging. He's cataloging. A boy from the block drops keys, palms shaking. Relax, Roy says softly. We fix what's broken. Cars, or promises. The motor purrs in the bay. Brooklyn purrs with it. He thinks he's building a shop with clean lines and quiet ledgers. He's really building a kingdom with no exits. And a kingdom kept this quiet only stays quiet, until someone whispers. Morning light through thin curtains. His wife sets a plate. His little girl laughs at a crooked napkin Swan Roy folded before work. He smiles, the shy neighborhood kid flickering through the man he became. He kisses his son's head, straightens a picture frame, checks the door lock twice. Habit is armor. He learned that from poverty's long winter. You can't buy peace, but you can organize fear. At the shop, he starts the day with small mercies. He comps a tire for a widow. He slips cash to a kid who should be in school. Use it for books, he says, then turns to a ledger where the numbers never lie. His crew watches how the room changes around him, how voices soften by instinct. Loyalty is a receipt, he tells a cousin in the office. You keep it, you can return to me. You lose it. He doesn't finish. He doesn't need to. At night, Sinatra croons low from a dusty radio. Roy wipes a wrench clean until it gleams. He isn't thinking about violence. He's thinking about continuity. The neighborhood sleeps lighter when his lights stay on. But the later he works, the more names start appearing in that ledger. And one of those names will not belong there for long. The first real money comes not from luck, from pattern. Credit lines stitched across 3 boroughs. Repossessed cars that end up sold twice. Insurance claims that land exactly where they're meant to. He says little, listens a lot, and shows up early to every table where cash speaks. He builds a circle, not thugs, specialists. A car mechanic who never forgets a plate number. A bookkeeper with church hands and a steel memory. A cousin who laughs easy and drives like a ghost. Talk less, Roy advises. Invoice more. He learns to make impatience expensive. If you rush him, the price rises. If you hesitate, the interest does. A man tries to renegotiate in the bay. Roy lifts his eyes, gentle as a librarian. You're asking for a discount on oxygen. The man swallows and signs. 2 blocks away, a diner window fogs as deals settle over eggs and toast. Roy's fork taps the plate exactly twice before every yes. His ritual. His metronome. The family's notice. Not his face, his footprint. Profit without noise. Order without headlines. Respect starts arriving in envelopes. So do requests. And one request, passed hand to hand, will redraw the borders of his life. He doesn't pound tables, he aligns them. He doesn't threaten, he calibrates. The shop becomes a headquarters with good lighting and better manners. He keeps the front immaculate, chrome shining, invoices neat, magazines straight. In the back office, a safe sleeps behind a false panel. Roy's desk is bare except for a pen, a stapler, and a single photograph of Coney Island, summer light forever caught in a frame. Clean work is good work, he reminds the crew, voice barely above the radio. Leave no mess. Leave no echo. He times conversations to passing trucks so microphones hear only thunder. He changes routes, doubles back, swaps cars without drama. Caution is a style choice. A soldier from downtown tests him, all swagger and cologne. You look soft, the man smirks. Roy's smile is almost kind. Leather's soft, he says. It still stops the blade. The room bends around his temperature, calmer, cooler. The crew mirrors his poise, his timing, his surgical way of saying yes and absolutely never saying no. Money flows like a well-behaved river. And yet, rivers carve canyons. Behind him, a respectful knock. A cousin whispers, "We got a problem," and it knows our names. Power holds shape until the first crack teaches it the word gravity. Cracks rarely shout. They tick. A missed call. A late envelope. A laugh that stops when Roy steps in. He begins to test the circle, light questions, patient eyes. Where'd the last delivery land? Who signed for the cash? He times the answers. He watches pupils, not hands. At the lounge, music low, he pours 2 fingers of scotch and sets it in front of a childhood friend. "Tell me," Roy says, polite as always. "If heat comes, what burns first, baggage or brotherhood?" The friend hesitates, searching for the noble answer, the safe answer, the real one. Silence does the arithmetic for them both. They still love him. They also fear him. And fear edits memory. Files go missing then reappear too perfectly. A driver forgets a turn he's taken for 10 years. Someone leaves the wrong door unlocked on a cold night. Coincidence, the mechanic asks. Roy shakes his head. Coincidence is a story men tell when they don't want to say betrayal. He increases distance without raising his voice. Fewer hugs. More instructions. Another ritual, every meeting ends with a small, unremarkable favor. It's not the favor he needs, it's the receipt. The music keeps playing. But a record that skips on the same bar is warning you about the needle. By winter, the air itself sounds wired. Vans idle too long at the curb. A stranger reads the paper without turning a page. Streetlights blink off-beat. Roy adjusts nothing outwardly, inwardly he adjusts everything. Tape on phone receivers. Meetings in walk-in freezers, breath cloudy, words brief. Routes mapped like chess, with decoys in play. "Roy, you're chasing ghosts," a driver says. "Ghosts don't file reports," Roy answers. "But men with badges do." He changes the cadence of business, longer gaps, shorter asks. He spreads work across smaller hands. The ledger shrinks by design, numbers hiding inside numbers. At home, he closes his son's bedroom door softly, lingers on the frame, and whispers to himself, "Still day. Still day." It's a ritual to push back the night. A priest visits the shop for a tire patch. Roy pays, then pays again. Not for forgiveness, for time. In a back booth, a source leans in, "They have a nickname for you." Roy smiles without amusement. They always do. He's not afraid of cages. He's afraid of leverage. And leverage can look like anything, a wire, a ledger, a nervous laugh. The walls keep listening. One of them has a mouth. News travels like a rumor until it becomes a headline. A raid down the block. A cousin questioned, then released too quickly. A name mispronounced by a reporter who doesn't know what it costs to speak it. Roy slows the river to a trickle. No new accounts. No favors for strangers. No heroics. He calls the crew in groups of 2. "You working clean?" he asks. "Yes," they say, uniformly. "Then why am I hearing noise?" No one answers. They don't need to. The noise isn't volume, it's pattern. He reviews his own rules. No paper. No boasts. No improvisations after midnight. And yet, something slipped. Not a body, a habit. He finds it in the mirror, success turned to rhythm, rhythm to predictability. Cops love a drummer who keeps perfect time. That night, he eats alone in the car outside the shop, sandwich unwrapped, untouched. Rain dots the windshield like braille he refuses to read. He thinks about the first dollar he ever lent and the first promise someone ever broke. Everything ends, he says gently to no one. The trick is choosing how. A phone rings. It's a voice he trusts. "Roy, we need to talk." In person. When a trusted voice asks for in person, it's never about the weather. He doesn't go to prison, he builds one. Windows dark. Calls screened. Even laughter escorted to the door. He moves between 3 safe apartments, each identical, same chair, same clock, same coffee tin, same illusion of control. He shaves at the same time every morning to keep the days from bleeding into each other. He shines his shoes for walks he doesn't take. A nephew brings groceries, sets them in the sink like offerings. "You good, UNC?" "I'm organized," Roy replies. It's the closest he comes to fine. He writes nothing. He remembers everything. At night, he recites a litany, names of men he trusts, names of men he doesn't, names that keep switching columns. He hates that list. He loves its honesty. He plays Sinatra low and turns the dial a click left when the chorus hits. A private superstition, as long as he can edit the song, he can edit the ending. A knock lands at a strange rhythm, 3, pause, 1. Not his code. "Wrong door," he says to the wood, not opening. The knock doesn't return. The message does. You can lock a door from the inside. You can't lock out the calendar. Time, the undefeated captain, walks him back through his own footprints. He remembers the stooped kid counting who owed who. He remembers the first ledger, the first envelope, the first man who called him sir. His son asks, "Careful, Dad, are you?" Roy pours 2 glasses of water, the way a man pours truce. "I'm a provider," he says, measured. "I provide order." It isn't a lie. It isn't the truth. The neighborhood ages with him. The diner changes owners, the recipe for eggs does not. The mechanic's hands tremble now, but he still finds every rattle. Men nod to Roy on the sidewalk the way ships blink lights in fog, respect without details. Younger guys whisper his name like a case study. Not for cruelty. For discipline. The way he ran chaos like a quiet office with good lighting. He writes a single sentence on a scrap he will later burn. Fear is a scaffold, not a house. He would like to teach that to the boy at the stoop. He would like to teach that to himself. He can't teach anyone who isn't listening. But someone, somewhere, has been listening the whole time, and they don't want a lesson. They want a date. He always believed the math could save him. Balance inputs. Control outputs. Keep costs predictable, keep lives accounted for. But the soul keeps a separate ledger, and it doesn't accept cash. In the mirror, he sees 3 Roys, the son who wanted out, the father who wanted more, the manager of silence who mistook quiet for peace. He straightens the picture frame one last time, a ritual that once calmed storms. He whispers to the empty room, loyalty isn't love. It's a loan. He closes his eyes. And every loan matures. He takes the quarter from the register and turns it heads up for the first time in years. A small rebellion against his own systems. A human gesture in a mechanical life. Was he a monster? A provider? Both can wear the same suit. He steps into the hallway, shoes bright, tie neat, A man who kept his word even when the world stopped keeping its promises. Somewhere outside, a car door shuts. Somewhere inside, a decision does too. He outlived most dangers. He never outran his design. Power without peace is just another prison, and he built it beautifully. If this story moved you, don't forget to like the video, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more calm, cinematic gangster stories told at midnight.